Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll show you a little insight into a day in my life. I'm back at university now, but before I jump into my final major project, I really want to participate in a competition, specifically for the experience, and the deadline is tomorrow. And I've already prepared some sketches, but before I started I wanted to share an app with you that I really like. This is not sponsored, by the way. It's called I Love Hue, so color, and I find it very relaxing. Basically you have a grid and you order colors according to their hue and value and saturation. And the reason why I started playing this was, first of all, I needed something to relax, but also I wanted to increase my color perception, feeling for color, and I think this is really good to, I don't know, I hope at least it will do something to my understanding of color and feeling for color. So I really like this game. It's free. Sometimes I think you can buy an ad-free version, but I don't really mind the ads much because I don't play a lot. And yeah, so I've been already quite far, and I played this just now to relax a little bit. For this competition I wanted to create an illustration that is about maybe like a day like this, but in summer when it rains and you really want to go out and do stuff but you can't, and you wait inside and you think about all the things that you would like to do. This is my sketch, and as usual I then printed it out on and enlarged it with my scanner and printer. And here you can see this is a draft printout. You can see that in your quality settings sometimes if your printer has that available. Now I'm starting to find a good color scheme, and I really like this color scheme. And that's how I let me show you here. That's why I tried to find the right colors, or colors alike. And color is definitely something I really struggle with, so that's something that I want to get better at, especially harmonious color schemes. And what I'm trying at the moment is I try to find an illustration that I like, for example in a magazine or something, and see which colors they are using and if I can use similar colors. So I'm trying to learn and try to get a feeling for good color schemes. I'm quite happy with this, but I'm not so sure about this. This is a window, and I used a kind of salmony peachy color, but I might use this for the background, so to speak. And so I tried to use another printout here. It's a bit harder to see. I think my brightness is quite high. Let me change this so maybe it's easier to see a lighter blue. And what I will do now, I will cut this out and then see if it works better together with the rest of the illustration, or if I should keep it like this. And that's how I quickly make changes. I realized maybe in the future I will do this digitally to do all this color testing, but at the moment I just enjoy the manual process of drawing and yeah, having a pencil in my hand. So let's see how this goes. So I don't know if you can see this, hopefully it's not so bright, but basically this is the version with blue rain, and I feel actually I like the contrast more. I feel there's more focus on her face, but of course it looks a bit cooler. But it's not necessarily bad because it shows a cool day outside, I guess. And this one, I feel like first of all it could be mistaken for like a wallpaper or something. And yeah, I don't know, it's just less, of course you can still see her face, but I don't know, something about that doesn't really work for me, and I think it's the contrast. So it's a bit of a cooler feeling through this blue, of course, but I think it works better, and I think that's what I will go ahead with. So if I will do the water drops, the raindrops darker blue or not, I don't know yet. I actually quite like them the way they are now. Let me show you this. that. Like that. So, yeah, these are my daily struggles when it comes to color. So, I took a picture of my color testing. So this is not the final illustration, but it's very close to it, I think, because I'm quite happy with the colors. But what I do sometimes is to check the values, because I'm not really good at that. Some people say you can squint your eyes and then you will see the values better, but for me this is, I don't know, it just doesn't work so well. So I tend to take a picture and then turn it into grayscale. And you can see, it's not ideal, but I think it's okay. The only thing I think I definitely will change is the hat here, because I feel that there is really little contrast here. You can barely see the ribbon. Yeah. So, yeah, maybe some minor changes, but overall I'm quite happy. And here you can see my little light pad. I made a review about this light pad. I'm overall really happy. It has some flaws, which I talk about in this video, so if you're interested in buying a light box, then I would recommend you having a look at this video. And what I will do now is I will probably turn off this separate light that I have up there. It's easier if the surrounding is a little bit darker. Then I will take my sketch here, place it underneath, and yeah, probably adjust it. Turn this on, turn this off. Sometimes it helps. I have a blind here. I might close this and you can see it's actually much easier to see. And I can also increase the brightness on this, which I really like. Sometimes that is really helpful depending on how thick your paper is. And this is a sketchbook paper. I think it's 120 or 130 grams per square meter. So it's not too heavy, but it's also not as thin as like regular copy paper. Yeah, I'll trace this now, and this is the most exciting part because this will be the final illustration. And this is an A4 sheet. This fits perfectly into our print scanner. And then I'll scan it, and then I'll edit it, and then I'll send it off after arranging the elements. So I will just show you a little bit of the tracing now. So when I was just about to start tracing, I realized it was about lunchtime. And knowing myself, when I'm hungry, sometimes I say, okay, I'll work until I finish and then I eat, but knowing that this might take a bit longer and that I might rush and then make mistakes or don't do such a good job, I decided to eat first. So I had a bit of a lunch, and also I watched a class on surface pattern design, which I will link down below if you're interested in taking it too. It's by Bonnie Christine, I think, and I think she's quite famous in the surface pattern classes world. It's a Skillshare class, and I also have some Skillshare courses in case you're interested. Just putting that out there if you want to learn gouache painting and illustrating. And yeah, so that was interesting. I basically want to learn surface pattern design to apply my illustrations onto various products. So that's what I did during my lunch break, because that's nice to just listen and eat, because yeah, at the moment I'm usually taking my breaks alone. So I'm back, and is there anything else I wanted to say? No, I think we can just go back and get started. Just before I get started, I tend to use a piece of washi tape. You can also use artist tape. I just don't have any. And to stick down the paper a little bit so it doesn't move or I'd make a mistake when tracing. So the sun came out and I had to change my battery pack as well. And I thought, why not talk a little bit with you? So yesterday I actually went to bed quite late because my husband, his sister, his best friend and girlfriend, so his best friend's girlfriend and me, we went to see Loving Vincent. Have you heard about this movie? It's basically an stop-motion animation movie with oil paintings in the style of Vincent. So I don't actually know exactly how to pronounce his last name. I've heard many different people say different things. I always said Van Gogh, but maybe it's Van Gogh, I don't know. Actually, I have a Dutch relative, should probably ask him at some point. But yeah. So sorry if I mispronounce it. If you know how to pronounce it, please let me know. But yeah, so anyway, I was moved. I mean, I knew a little bit about his story, about the mysteries surrounding his death and his mental illness or struggle with mental health. I don't know, it was very moving to see how many people made the effort to produce this movie. Later, after the movie, there was a Q&A, and there was the producer, and like the person who wrote it, one of the artists, 2 actors. So what they did, they basically had actors acting out the script, recorded it using different green screens, and then, yeah, basically created the movie. And then these frames were separated between, I think, 125 artists. And they all animated each frame through painting an oil painting and then taking a picture and then obviously moving it a little bit more. And that's how the film developed. I think it's absolutely amazing. And when I talked afterwards with family and friends how they thought about it, I think we were all so surprised. Even the entry sequence, you know, when you normally see the names and who made what. It was so breathtakingly beautiful that no one spoke. The whole auditorium was silent. So it was, yeah, even if you only see that part, I think it's really worth seeing. It's amazing how much movement and color and form, how much effect it can have on people. And yeah, the story is also very interesting, how they used different paintings. And if you know his paintings, then I think you will see a lot of different paintings somehow recreated. So they try to show every character when he or she appeared first in the movie, exactly the way their portrait or their painting appeared. The thing is, I don't know so many of his paintings. I only know the most famous ones, and my favorite one is, I don't know how it's called actually exactly, but I think it's The Night Cafe. I have a sketchbook with it, and I bought my parents a fine art puzzle with this painting because I just really love it. And one of my dreams is definitely to go and see the exhibition or his museum in Amsterdam, because I think that's where it is. So yeah, I never studied art, and in uni also we didn't, you know, we had no art history or anything. It's just very nice to become a bit more knowledgeable, and I saw some of his drawings actually in an exhibition in Vienna, and yeah, it's just nice to see a very different way of animation, see how art and oil paintings can also become a stop-motion animation. I don't know, it's a completely new format, and I found it very refreshing to see something else than only computer-generated imagery. Although I like animation movies, I somehow miss that tactile touch. I don't know, the textures, and I think that you could really see. I think texture is a really huge part of his paintings. And if you've seen it, let me know how you liked it. What did you think? It's a little bit set up as like a little like a crime movie. I don't know. So sorry, this is maybe not so interesting to watch, but that's why I thought I'd talk, because I don't know, I just wanted to catch up a little bit with you. So after I've blended that all nicely, I will continue working on this illustration. I really hope I can finish this very soon, because I need to continue working on different other things. My final big project for uni, and then I need to finish my thesis, because I got my feedback for my draft and it's pretty good, but there's some improvements to be made. So thank you for joining me in this, what I can imagine already quite long video. Hope you enjoy. In case you haven't already, subscribe and like this video if you like it. It really helps the video to be found, and I'm just going to continue now.
Please listen carefully.
So I finished all the outlines, and as you might have noticed, I've done the gloves, gardening gloves again, because I just realized maybe these illustrations I could use for something else, like a repeat pattern. Thinking about a surface pattern class that I just took, I thought maybe it's better if I just trace this one more time, just into line art, and then I can scan them once now. So I have that as a digital file, and then I fill them all in with the colors as I wanted to, as you can see in this color study. And therefore I create possible imagery for many different projects, because I can imagine that this would look really nice on fabric or on other different products. And I noticed maybe I should really just slow down and use this opportunity to scan this and then work on the other illustrations. So yeah, maybe I can create many different products or illustrations with these assets. And it would be a shame if now I fill it in and then maybe I need different colors, so I'd have to do it all again. So that's my thinking. That's what I will do now. And I also really need to have a break sitting here for a while, and I'll go for a walk, hopefully, with my hobby. So I had to change the battery again. It's quite a new experience to film a whole process. I have to say I don't have footage of the last part of filling in all the shapes. Sorry for that. But I guess it's a bit harder to see because it's very overexposed here. But basically this is my sketch color studies, and this is the final, which I will then scan and edit a little bit, so a bit of color correction, because unfortunately a lot of scanners can't really deal with color pencils. So well, I mean, at least mine doesn't, so I have to change the colors and the levels, and then I will arrange these elements to create a really nice illustration. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. Yeah, I like really textured work, and I tend to mix more neutral colors with quite vibrant ones, and I start to really appreciate this kind of way of working. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the video to be found. Leave a comment. It really makes me happy to read what you think, and yeah, how you're doing with your creative journey. And yeah, maybe you have seen Loving Vincent, and I'd like to hear what you think, or are you thinking about watching it. I hope to see you next time in another illustration related video. See you soon. Bye bye.